Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Amanda, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of garden touring plus planting. I got a bunch of stuff that I need to get in the garden ASAP. As you can see here, I have a lot to plant. I have 3 whole rows in my garden. Oh my gosh, those weeds went crazy overnight. And I have to plant something in them, and I haven't had very good germination with my zucchini, so I do have some zucchini to plant along with some basil and some other herbs and stuff that I need to get in the ground and plant ASAP. I'm so sorry that I've been MIA off YouTube for a while now. I tried to be consistently posting for once a week. I was trying for twice a week, but with the spring and the summer, it's just been insane. We've been getting our camper ready and our pontoon ready to go camping, so that's kind of tied up majority of my time. That and trying to keep the weeds at bay and just keep the garden in general alive. So it's just been a lot of work. Wake up, go to work, come home, repeat kind of thing. So that's where I've been, but I kind of want to show you guys an update of what the garden looks like, what I got, and where I'm planting it, and then we'll see where the rest of the day takes us. So let's go. So here I have a ton of different kinds of basil that need to get planted. I have some nasturtium. There you can see a plant down there. Some oregano I need to plant. Some squash, actually a ton of squash. Some cauliflower that I'm going to get planted because I did cabbage and broccoli, but I did not do cauliflower, so here's my cauliflower. So I'm going to get all of this planted in the garden. I got to find where I'm going to put it all. I got to get these trimmed. You want to get the buds cut off. As long as you know, when it starts to form like this, it's a good time to pinch off the buds if you want to keep, actually just pinch off the whole top half, like that, the whole top section. If you want to keep your basil, it basically sends down to the roots to tell your basil, hey, keep growing, we're not done yet, because flowering is kind of like the end of the life cycle for a plant. So this is what it does before it starts to die back. So I'm going to go through and trim all those. I need to find a scissors. Anyway, we'll take care of that later, but we're going to move on to the garden now. So I've got my clematis that I planted last year is growing beautifully. It's getting nice and tall. It's pretty tall. I need to get some chicken wire on the outside of this so that it can have something to climb to a little bit better than just hanging through. But anyway, we got a spot of rain, and I'm wondering if that's why that weeded up so bad. But it's not too terrible. It'll be quick with the action hoe. Here's my broccoli. Here's my cabbage. The bugs have been insane this year with my brassicas. And I put some diatomaceous earth on it, and that did help. But then the rain came, and then now it's back to nothing. There's my, oh my word, you gotta be joking me. Well, the zucchini decided to finally germinate, so that's all right. I'll have some extra zucchini now. There's one right there. Oh my gosh. Because these two were zucchini and they did not germinate, but all my yellow squash did great. So here's my yellow squash. Beautiful. This is how I want to see it. I did get such a late start this year. It kind of stinks because I wish I would have been harvesting yellow squash already by now, but that's okay. We'll take what we can get. Over here is cucumbers. These are doing well. And see, here's another late germinator. I don't know what happened this year to me with germination, but it's been awful. But we got another one there and a weed trying to be stealing the spotlight. But I did go through and I weeded this whole side a couple nights ago, and it's doing pretty good with weeds. I do need to come back and hit over there. This side I didn't do at all, and they're just going like crazy. That prairie bindweed just creeps in. See, it's starting to go to seed. I don't like that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the whole garden, inside and out, and I'm going to weed whack, and I'm going to pull what I can from the weed or from the fence line, and then I'm going to come in with, I'll put it on the screen here, the ratios, but I just get one of those garden pumps from like Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. It's a little pump with the spray on it, and you put in vinegar, Epsom salt, and dish soap, and you mix it all up, and then you can spray it on anything. Don't get it on like these are my beans. Don't get it on your plants, because any leaves that it gets on, it will kill it. So it basically stops the leaves from being able to photosynthesize, and it dies. That weed killer works beautifully. It kills everything though. It will kill your grass. So anything you spray it on, make sure you want it to die. But I'm going to do the whole perimeter of this garden, because this leaching in it's got to stop. Otherwise I'll be fighting it all summer long. But banana peppers are looking good. These are regular green peppers, and then all the rest are hot peppers, jalapeno peppers. This is okra. Okra's doing well. Some of it germinated faster than others. That's fine. We'll get kind of a rotational harvest off of that. This is cantaloupe. See what I mean by late germination? Today is June 30th, and that's how big my cantaloupe are. This is not the best. And some of it, like, maybe I didn't plant it deep enough. Maybe that's the problem. I went about a pinky knuckle deep, and I thought that was good, but maybe it should have been deeper, because here's some good germination that happened in that one. So we have some cantaloupe that we'll get sooner. Same with watermelon. Watermelon was such an odd duck this year with germination. Look at this. I got this one plant, and we thought that was all we were going to have. And I'm like, well, I guess one plant is better than zero. But now look, I came back and we're getting a ton. So that's good. In this row, I have tomatoes, because I ran out of space down there, a lot of space. So I came up here and I used half of one of these rows to plant my marigolds and, oh my gosh, brain fart, tomatoes. So I'm going to come in and kind of prune them down, because they're getting a little crazy. These are going to be big enough that I can do the weave. I'm going to do the Florida weave, it's called. You can look up YouTube videos of how that's done. But I'm going to do that. And then here's my 2 rows on this side that are empty. And I have 3 rows on this side that are empty. So this is where all my extra plants I just got are going to be going, in here. And then some of them, it's, they're going to be squash, so they're going to be vining big time. So I'm going to have to get cattle panels, and I'm probably going to cattle panel trellis them. It's the only way it'll work in this small of a space. So that's one of the investments we'll have to make. The garlic looks beautiful. Something happened here where it went good down there, but then here it just didn't. So garlic, onion. So I have 2 whole rows of onions, and I square foot garden those. So I put, each one a foot apart. Sorry if I'm not getting everything in frame either. It's so bright out I can't see the screen of my phone. Here is the first batch of tomatoes that I planted. They're looking super wilty. I gotta get some water on these guys ASAP. I use the cone method anywhere that I can. We don't drink pop or soda in our house, so I have to rely on my neighbors and my coworkers to give me 2-liter bottles to put the caps on. This one isn't working very well, so I'll take it out and show you. But this is all it is just an aqua cone. You can get them on Amazon. I don't know why this one's plugging up, but I gotta go through it and fix that. Some of these will need pruned, and I want to get them weaved soon, because they're starting to really sag a lot. They're getting heavy. So that needs to get done. These are the ones I just planted last week, and they're growing like crazy. The same with those. These are all the ones that we potted up together in a previous video. I potted all of these 2. These are the same as these. These are all Roma. So this is the difference of planting it early and waiting a couple weeks. It's that big of a size difference. But they're all the same. We potted them up at the same time together in that video. And then what we did not do were these. This is the importance of potting up your tomatoes when you seed start. Because if you look at that compared to this is the difference you get when you don't put your tomatoes in something else that they can grow on or grow in to get bigger. They need that root space really bad. This one died. That one is almost non-existent. puny. So I'm gonna get either a really late harvest or these will just freeze on me. We'll see what happens. But once you stick them in the ground and they start to grow like this, they're gonna shoot up pretty quick. So I'm kind of hopeful. But I'm gonna swing over to our potato and corn garden and show you that real quick. So here is our corn and potato garden. Those weeds went crazy. These are my impatiens that I planted here. And pull this back. Hopefully I don't take out a plant. There we go. So we came in and we mounded up our potatoes, and they've already grown significantly since we mounded them up, like a lot. So I'm gonna have to come back in here with a hoe like this. This works the best that I've found. Is just a regular blunt square shaped hoe. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of stand on one side of the row like this, and I'll break up the ground with the hoe like that. And then I'll just pull it up and try and mound around that potato plant and get it up on those leaves as high as I can. You can keep doing this as high as you want. I do eventually stop because I'll run out of soil, but the more you do it, the better yield you'll get. That's for me personally. We found that last year when we did them in that garden, that mounding them made all of the difference in the world for harvest size. You could put them in, let them go, but you might only get like 5 or 6 potatoes per plant, which still would be good in a, you know, a good sized garden like this. But by mounding it, you actually get those tubers off of the leaves, off of the main stem of the plant. Can start giving you potatoes too. So I gotta come in here and do a quick weed of this. It's not too bad. My legs are gonna get tickled going in between these corn plants, but our corn is doing beautifully. This is all sweet corn. It's growing like crazy. My husband came in and thinned it one day. He just kind of went in and like planted it really close together. And I'm like, we're gonna have to come back and thin that. So he did. And then now I'm just gonna come in here with the Action rattle hoe and get in between the plants and down the rows. So this one is done already because we mounded them, so there's no weeds here yet. I'll just keep an eye on that. But this is our corn and potato garden. This one was where my oregano was last year. You can see the root ball is still there. I'm going to weed that really well, and I think I'm going to put my nasturtium in here. And then in this side, we had planted, oh my goodness, my brain isn't working. We planted zinnias. There we go. I planted zinnias in this one. So they're coming up. We planted them a little late, but I wasn't too worried. They're just for pollinators and for pretty. It is now, oh, a little bit of garden dirt never hurt anyone, right? It is now, I think it's like 9 something at night. It's been a really long day. So I got everything that we got, well, not everything. 95% of what we got today planted. I did not get the cauliflower planted. It looks pretty healthy, so I'm not too concerned about it. I'll do that tomorrow. It'll be no big deal. I got everything else planted, and it was a lot of work, and it was hot, and I felt like I was going to pass out. But it's all in. I'll show you that here in a minute. I was going to give you a quick update on the chickens. Girls. Chick, 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 chick ladies. Come say hi, girls. Here, chick. Here, chick, chick. This one is the junkie monkey. She always wants food. Come here. I don't have food, but I want you to come closer. See, no food, baby. Hi. So we had moved their coop over here, loved it, and kept it there. And then my husband and I set up their run because they were putting eggs out in the woods. We were not getting any eggs whatsoever in the nesting boxes. So now we keep them locked up during the day, and then now that it's late and they're likely not laying eggs right now, I let them free range just until they can get back in the habit of using the nesting box and this is their home. I'm just going to keep them locked up, and especially when we go camping, we are going to make sure that they stay locked up. My brother is going to be babysitting for us. And then in here, these girls aren't quite old enough. Come on, sister. You can come out. Hi, baby. You can come out. I'm going in. Yeah, okay, it's all right. These guys are not quite old enough. Hi, babies. Hi, little babies. They're getting much bigger. They have their colors. They look so sweet. This is helping kind of acclimate the hens to the new hens. They've got about maybe 3 more weeks before they can get introduced to the big girls. They're still pretty juvenile to the point where there could be some fighting going on. Come on, Minnie. Come on, Minnie. The girls named this one Minnie, I'm assuming after Minnie Mouse. So we got them in here. And it's already shaded with the trees, but we did put the tarp over it. That helps with the rain, keeps it a little more dry in there, and it also adds extra shade, and it also acts so they cannot fly out, because they did learn to fly out before we put that up there. And then over here, the tarp wasn't quite long enough, so we just took, by we I mean my husband, just took chicken wire because they were jumping up on this stump in there, getting on the roof and flying out. So it's fully enclosed. Big mama. Yep. I'm over here by the chickens live. Should we see if you guys gave us any eggs today? Liv, do you want to check for eggs? I say it in every video, but I will fix that. Why are you not clothed? Maybe we will not video Olivia getting eggs. She's in just shorts. Child. Oh my goodness. You should take a peek. We got 5 eggs. The nasturtium got planted in the whiskey barrel. I'm hoping it bounces back and kind of fluffs up a little bit, because it kind of looks like a hot mess right now. That's okay. As long as it transplants fine, that is all I am worried about. So we'll come in the garden. The garden's looking pretty fine lately. Things are starting to grow. So down here, I chose to leave this row empty because I learned that watermelon is not happy pretty much around any other plant whatsoever. This is even kind of going to be close to pushing it. Might be a no-no here. But I'm going to put cattle panel here and do a couple arch trellises, maybe one. We'll see how the 16-foot cattle panels work. So this will go on the trellis, and then these 2 end ones will go on the trellis. So these are spaghetti squash on the ends. They're looking kind of sad. I'm really hoping they perk up by morning. In the middle, they're Lebanese white bush. These are white squash, like zucchini, like yellow squash, but they're white. So I have 3 of those. That one's perking up pretty nice, so that's awesome. Over here in the next row is where I am doing the cauliflower. That's all looking great, not wilty, so I'm not too worried. It's going to be a cooler night. Here I've got the butternut squash, just one, which should be enough for our family. We don't have a ton of squash eaters. These perked up super nice. They look great. So these are called, they have a silly name and I can't remember. Delicata. They're a winter squash, and I have 3 of them. And that should give us a good prolific amount. And they're going to trellis also. I'm going to do the cattle panel to here because these will also trellis. And these 2 end, actually that one I don't know. It's something. It's not, it's a trellising kind. I know that much, but it didn't have the tag flew out and I don't know what it is. This is Black Beauty, zucchini. Ooh, I hear coyotes. Yeah, a bunch of coyotes. But then we have the electric fence, and the chickens are all in there. This one's called Bossa Nova. That is a zucchini-like, but it's kind of variegated. It's really pretty. Here's another Black Beauty. So I have 3 zucchini type plants right here. You use the bossa nova just like zucchini or yellow squash. So that will be good. I transplanted the basil and it's looking a little sad. I'm hoping she perks up too. And then down here, we have the rest of the basil that I planted and the oregano. This is going to be the oregano's permanent home. If she comes back next year, awesome. If not, that's all right. There's the oregano. Down here, I've got the, is this lime? Yep, lime basil. And I'm waiting for them to be okay. I'm waiting for them to bounce back from their transplant before I trim all these flowers off. I don't know. I just felt like that might be too much for it. I could be wrong. So this one is licorice and licorice basil. I hate licorice, like black licorice, but that was delicious. I ate a leaf and it was really good. Here's the other big basil, regular, you know, basil that you use for pesto. I put that one there. And then down here, don't look at my weeds. I got a weed and I got to weave these. They're getting huge. This one is lemon basil and lemon basil. And I'm really excited because if you watch Jess with Roots and Refuge Farm, I'm pretty sure she made lemon basil tea. And I'm 100% doing that as soon as these bounce back and are ready for me to harvest. So in closing, I just kind of wanted to share my garden thought of the day. It kind of was kind of profound to me as I was heading to town today to go pick up my daughter from work. I had just shot the beginning, I had just shot the beginning of this video and it was me showing the garden, and I just had these thoughts in the back of my head like, I shouldn't have even shown the garden. There's weeds everywhere. It's not perfect. And I can get stuck in this rut of perfect. And I don't know if you're the same way or if you have the same problem, but if you're like me, I get stuck in perfect mode. If it's not perfect, it's not right or good enough or done at all. So for my garden, I'm telling myself, and I know it's just a mental thing, my garden is perfect the way it is. It's got stuff growing in it. Food's growing. It's beautiful. It's thriving. I mean, it's transplanted more food for our family. Some of these weeds, I'm going to have to just not look at. I'm going to have to let it go until I have time. I can't push myself to the point of overexhausting myself, and no one else should either. That's not the point of the garden. The point of the garden is to be a happy place, to be your creative spot, to be the food for your family. It's the spot where you can pour yourself into, and that's what I want this garden to be. I don't want it to be a chore. I don't want it to be a standard that I can't reach, because let's face it, we're all human. We all have lives. We can't devote 100% of our time to the garden, because that's also not good balance either. That's not healthy. So I'm keeping the plants weeded as well as I can so that they're still young. They need to thrive and grow. So I'm keeping the plants clear of weeds. There's still weeds in my rows. And you know what? My garden is still perfect. It's okay. Weeds used to overwhelm me and I would get stuck, and almost in my old garden spot, I would give up. I wouldn't even go out and look at the garden because I was so overwhelmed. And I'm not normally a person that's like that, but when it's something I love, I set myself a higher standard, and I set such a standard that it wasn't attainable to me. So I just want to say that you have permission. If nobody else told you and you can't tell yourself, you have permission to let some weeds be. It's okay. Don't let them take over your garden, but they also aren't going to define what your garden is to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got a lot more to do. It's movie night and I see a child coming at me. I'm sure she's going to tell me it's time to watch a movie. So I'm going to get this video wrapped up, edited, and hopefully up tonight. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. You won't hear from me for sure again until we're back from camping. And you guys have a great 4th. Bye.